And I need to find my hat. Too much light. Okay. So, here we are, the Modelers Guild Live Pilot episode, I guess you could say. I put out an email through the email list and a message on Facebook. I don't want to make a big production about what's happening today. I just kind of want to test the episode, run this for about 2 hours, and see how it works out. For most of the video, you're not going to see my face because I'm going to be building. I'm just going to be building models during this show. I think that we'll be able to get by not building the models I build for YouTube, but actually the models I build for clients. Something that I usually don't photograph too much or take video of. I really can't, in my mind, I really can't get paid to do these things, to provide these builds as entertainment for you, because it would take extra time, and that wouldn't make me a very fast and efficient builder. Still trying to figure out this YouTube thing. Okay, so also this other video pod or whatever you call it, it's not a podcast, it's a hangout. This other video hangout that I was part of, we had lower thirds names and stuff put at the bottom. I may do that. However, I'm just going to focus on building models today and seeing how many people show up through the social circles. I've never done this before, so I don't really have a huge expectation of turnout. And hopefully a couple of the guests will show up too. I'll send those links off to them. Okay, there we go. So, what I'm building today is Chicago L. I have to transport this to North Carolina, so I have to build this and then tear it apart to be able to make it across the border, because I'm from Canada. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to build 5 more legs. Size up the little booties. They're a tight fit. Yeah. So okay, so I found the stick that fits nicely inside the leg. So what I'm going to do is build these legs around the stick. Oh, actually, I'm going to start off with the tops. Have to fit the pattern because one side's laser cut, the other side's completely bare. Looks like I got too much of one side. Oh, there we go. Let me grab a couple more of these pieces because I'm going to need to. There we go. Can't find my knife right now. This weld bog and glue sticks real quick, so all you need is the clamp on it for a few seconds before it tries to dry. Trying to keep this work space clean this time. One of the hardest parts of doing these videos, it seems, is keeping a clean workspace. I have such a bad habit of making a mess. Good. Wipe away the excess glue. This all looks easy, but it all has to do with patience, because when you put these together, especially when you throw the clamp on, uh, the clamp will want to move the pieces and make them crooked. So let me see if I can show you. So you gotta kind of grab the edges so they're all nice and square, and then throw on your clamp. There we go. So I'm only building 5 legs here, just so that I can get this mock-up section here set up for photos for the client. Every time well, not every time, but I like to be able to discuss how the kit looks when I get to a point where they can see what the kit's going to turn out to look like. Oh, we got 2 viewers. Awesome. Welcome, guys. So we see the tediousness of model building. This is it. This bridge I'm building is actually going in. There's 18 feet of this bridge. So I think there's 16 sections. I don't know if that's true. Could be, let me think, 3, 6, 9, maybe 12 sections this big. So I got a lot more legs to build because these are the first ones that I have. Going on. Let me bring this up. So it says Q&A is disabled. Oh, I guess I gotta turn it on before the event starts. I'm gonna build these legs first before I do that. Okay. So next step, a little bit of glue, tack it on the inside of this part, and glue that to the top. make sure it's straight because it's not going to get any straighter once it's glued. Once the glue is dried. I really need another clamp around here. Huh. Let me get one of those. These little dollar store clamps are invaluable. I say invaluable because they get lost so often. You can buy bags and bags and you'll still end up losing them somewhere. The wife likes to close chip bags with them. My daughter likes to use them in crafts. Okay, so I got the top clamp to the girder piece. I'm going to put one of the side pieces on now. I like to use weld bond glue because it sticks. It gets tacky real quick and it dries real quick. So it's not like a wet Elmer's glue that you put it on and the piece slides around, endlessly slides around. I've tried many types of glues, and this one not only dries perfectly clear, but also it doesn't make it a challenge to to glue a piece on because it sticks, gets tacky real quick. The way I add glue to a part like this is I put it on my finger and I slide my finger along the edge to get the glue on it. And it may turn out to be a mess when you first do it, but you'll get better at it. And even if you do make a mess, it's not a problem because after a while you'll figure out how to sort it out. At this point right here, I'm getting glue on this stick. The part's glue into the stick. It might look like we got problems all around, but we really don't. Glue on both sides. There we go. Glued and ready for the next step, which will be to glue this cap piece on. So anybody out there who wants to build commercially for people, these are the tedious tasks that you have to do for 5 and 6 hours straight. It's fun for me. I love doing this stuff. But if you're an impatient person, be careful of what you wish for. A bit of coffee. Got 3 viewers. Welcome, guys. Thanks for watching. Next time we have the show up, we'll be doing a Q&A. Actually, at about 11 o'clock, I'm going to shut down the live show and then turn it back on with the Q&A enabled. I think maybe it would be a good idea to do that just to test it out today. Main reason why I'm waiting until 11 o'clock is so I can get a leg finished here. Or 2. Sure nice to have another host or 2 to talk to while this is going on. If you're interested in being part of the show, contact me on Facebook. I don't bite all the time. Next week's show, I'm going to be building up the rest of my Gilmister Cole Craftsman kit. I've been putting together the second part in the video series of that, and it's come together well. I just want to start doing build sessions on Modelers Guild Live so that you know, we can get question and answer sessions going on. Ooh, 5 viewers. Awesome. Awesome. So this part is pretty much glued. I'm just going to finish adding these parts. Okay, this part's dry. Okay, so a little bit down this side. Okay, there's leg number 2. Again, I'm just sliding the glue down the edge. Okay. So like I said, that was just a pilot show. In our next episode, next Sunday at 10 o'clock, I should have at least 1 or 2 other hosts who will hopefully also be building a small project. We'll be able to switch from me to another modeler, which time I'd be able to take a break, go make a coffee, have a cigarette, and pass the torch on to the next modeler. I'm not going to name any names just yet, so I don't want to impose on their time, because, you know, this is, you know, we have to get the family busy doing something else so that we can use our modeling rooms, which isn't always easy. I've got 2 young children, and I know exactly I know exactly what it takes to get a little hobby like this, some quiet time. Okay. Ooh, just one side. Oh wow, we're up to 10 guests. I'm surprised and humbled. I know it's pretty boring today, guys. It's just a pilot show. I'm just trying to work out the kinks. I found out already that I was supposed to start the Q&A plugin before I started the video, so that little feature's out right now. If you want to make a comment on the Facebook group, and I'll look over that in a few seconds here. And getting these legs off the sticks is probably the hardest part. I just start at the end and peel it out. More glue. Oh, got our first comment. Awesome. Edward Traxler says he likes the camera. He said mine would be shaking from cats checking it out. And Chester Festmeyer says, love your glue applicator. Yeah. E.T. phone home. Wow, the comments are coming in. Thanks, guys. All it takes to be a part of this show is to have a webcam. I bought a LifeCam, a Microsoft LifeCam for $60 Canadian from a computer store. It has a little mic on it that is suitable for Google Plus. It's not the best, but it'll work. I'm not fussy about being having the best equipment here. You know, even if you got really, really bad equipment, you know, you can mute yourself during the times that you're not talking and stuff like that. Like, we don't have to roll the show around you. So, like, you won't be bugging anybody as far as I'm concerned with the webcam. I just plugged the webcam in on my USB, and I didn't even have to set it up into Google Hangouts. I was able to get it all up and running in no time. So, you might be saying to yourself, why is such a dark green on the model? But if I put the leg up against this leg, you can see that on top of the dark green, I put this light green that I've colored the same as Depot olive or Depot green. It I find it to be a very generic railroad color that you know, these colors were painted on dark and then end up very lightened from the sun. So the way I paint it on is I get the paint on it, I dab it off, and then I just dab it on each piece. I'll be painting these later on to show you how I did that. Can I start at the end, peel it off? Use my fancy glue applicator. If you have any problems viewing this show, please say it on Facebook there. I don't care if it's public. I like the fact that we're all talking about this on Facebook, even if it's a huge mess. Let me know. Chester and Edward, sure would be happy to have you on the show. Today I'm giving away, oh, I just glued the wrong part. My son would call that an epic fail. Right, Dill?
Right.
I'm actually going a little bit slower than I usually would because of you guys. You guys. It's all your fault. More comments coming in. I can hear my beep beep.
I did.
You heard that too, Dill? Actually, what I could do is okay, there's 4 legs. I'm going to use this for my chat comments. Yes, I agree with Edward Traxler. Chester is a Jordan's vehicle's god. Um, Actually, I don't think I'd ever be able to do a Jordan vehicle justice. It's all good, Dill. Because the parts are plastic, number one, and I like working with wood. This is all wood. I have a terrible time gluing plastic. I don't know what it is. I recognize the fact that it's probably the easiest task in all of modeling. But I just have a problem. I don't understand. Guess I don't have the experience with it just yet. Probably not the right materials too. Be good to have a plastic guy on the show to be able to bounce questions off of. I'm not an expert. I like to ask questions too. Oh, looks like we've got Edward in the call. Hi, Edward. How are you doing? Guy on the show.
Doing good.
To bounce questions off of. I don't have your microphone. I like to ask questions too. You want to ask questions too? Or you like to ask? Yeah. So yeah. So how do you like it so far, Edward? Oh, I might have you muted.
figure where all the controls are. Where is the microphone? Well, it's actually working today. I mean, unlike yesterday where, let's see, microphone. Come on. You got controls everywhere.
Up in the upper middle is where all the controls are.
You got control. Man.
If you're talking about your microphone volume, you may have to go into your Windows control panel for that.
Oh no. Yeah. Volume. Well, okay.
Otherwise, Google takes care of most everything, and I've got you turned up all the way on your mic.
All right, test. That's halfway.
That's good. Sounds
Okay.
good here.
Yeah, I was confused for a second. I opened up the Hangout video feed and the YouTube video feed, and like you said, there was lag. I was like, what the heck? I'm in like an alternate universe or something.
Yeah.
This is pretty cool. This is neat.
It is. Can you see the viewers down at the bottom?
Yes, I see vaguely me, which is I'm basically in shadow.
Oh no, below you, it says Modelers Guild Live, and we've got 6 viewers.
Let's see.
It may not be on yours.
Yeah, I don't see it. It's
Okay, that could be because I'm hosting the call.
It could be, or it could be just the different. Depends what browser you. Well, no, we're using Chrome.
Yeah.
So that's fine. One of these days you'll get like what is it, like 10? Did I read that, or is that something else?
You can get up to 10 people like you in the video, and we can get unlimited viewers.
Oh, okay. I got you. I was 10 people like me. I said, oh my God.
Well,
I don't know why
actually, you're somebody because you do all the 3D printing, and you work with card.
Yeah.
I love I myself can't really work with card all that well. It's just lack of practice, really. But I find it fascinating. You know, the fidelity of the printing.
You know, the trick there is to not just go, I work with card. I work with whatever works for what you're doing. In other words, if I'm scratch building a card stock structure, I use strip wood for the trim because I don't feel like cutting out the little pieces of paper.
Yeah.
You know, I'm in tissue windows and doors. So
I see.
But for the card stock, what's interesting about that is if you're doing a clapboard wall, cardstock is about the thickness of, in O scale, of you know, it's like 3/4 of 1 inch thick. So it's scale.
Oh, okay.
And what I do is I print out if I'm doing a clapboard structure, I will print the I will print out I get a texture sheet. I make one up of just like clapboard.
Yeah.
And then I cut out 2 boards wide, and that is so you can overlay one board as you go up the wall. So it actually, you get a 3D effect because you're actually laying the boards.
Oh, I see.
So what you do is you cut 2 board strips. You take a gray marker. I use a gray. At Walmart they have a thing called painters. It's an acrylic pen.
Yeah.
And I got a gray, and you color the white edge where you cut it, because you don't have to match the color, because remember it's shadowed. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
So I do have a rust color pen that I use if I'm cutting a rusty something out.
Piece of metal, yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can use that because it's got a reddish shadow, I guess you would say. But yeah, and so all you do is what I do is I glue on one sheet with paper printed out of the clapboard, and then I use that as a guide to glue on top of that the individual pieces. And what what I do is I glue the windows into the thing. I glue strip wood, and then you glue the your clapboard quotes between those, as in real life. And it's tedious, but it really looks good.
Tedious is the second name for this hobby.
Well, tedious is what makes it look good. That's sort of like when you go to the store and you see a model and it's like, oh, it goes together, snap and click or whatever the hell it is. You know, well, yeah, it looks like it's been snapped together.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, people go, how'd you do that? I said, well, you take your time, like you're doing. I mean,
One of the biggest steps is going to get a coffee and sitting down in a nice, comfy spot.
Yeah, I got one of those fold-up coffee tables. Not a coffee table, the TV table.
Yeah.
The little wood ones. And I put that usually by my computer.
That's a good idea. We use one of those as well.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like I sit there and I got my computer running and I'm multitasking. What you're as you're doing now, you're modeling and talking and filming and all that.
Yeah. So this 3D printing that you do you use SketchUp for your modeling?
Yes, and it's not because I'm cheap.
Okay.
The SketchUp, I'm still using SketchUp 8. They got a new one. It's called SketchUp Make, I believe. That's the latest version.
Okay.
And I'm using SketchUp. I don't know. I'm using the prior version simply because I got all the plugins I like, and I'm kind of hesitant about moving to the newest version because, of course, you can load older files, but you can't use the older version load. So once you save it in the new version, you can't load it in the old one. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
The usual computer upgrade. We won't play with the last version stuff.
Proprietary bump up.
Yeah. Well, see now Google sold SketchUp to this other company.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. So it's not. It's been a year, so it's still SketchUp. You can still get the free version, and you can still buy the professional version, which does more gee whiz stuff.
Well, the main part is that the professional version allows you to export DWX files. Is that what it is?
Yeah, there's something it does. It's for $400 or whatever it is. I'm like, oh well, I can do a workaround.
Oh, so you do a workaround?
Yeah. Well, for example, the 3D files that you upload, it can export only one. The free version, it exports a native .dae extension. That's whatever, I forget what it is, but that's the but you can download some free programs, and I'm trying to remember what it is. MeshLab.
Oh.
MeshLab is of course, MeshLab is a open source. It's actually out of Italy, and it's pretty geeky because it was actually designed by computer scientists at university level.
Yeah.
But it will import the DAE file and export in various other 3D formats, including STL, which
Oh, STL, that's what it is. Yeah.
um, yeah. I'm telling somebody where we're at. There are various formats, and there's as everything else, it changes over time. I still like the STL because I'm familiar with it. It's not that it's anything better than something else. That sort of thing. You get used to.
Yeah, yeah.
But you've got Mesh Lab, and then you got this other program called NetFab Studio Basic, which will fix a lot of the errors. And of course, you can purchase a Gee Whiz version and pay big bucks, or you can use the basic version.
Good, good.
Now, if you're prior military, you can buy a version of this pretty advanced 3D program. I can't remember offhand which one it is. That like $100
Oh, okay.
or $50 or something. I mean, it's long
Reasonable.
prove you should serve. So that's a pretty good deal. It's like $1,000 program.
Yeah. What's it called?
Let me see. So I can
Putting
remember.
you on the spot here.
It's let me. I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to. Hold on. I mean, let me send this link to the. Let's see. Well,
Our friends from Indonesia are watching. I just was told. Hi.
okay. Let me see if I can bring. Oh, what is that program? Oh, I do the cheat. Go to Google search and look for 3D software, and I look. I go, oh, that's it.
Google's it's such a funny thing, like on my phone all I have to do is say, okay, Google, and I ask it a question, the most obscure question I can ask, and it comes out with a fantastic answer 95% of the time.
Yeah. They
For the people who fear Google, I feel that your life has been stunted.
Well, to an extent, there's it's like people are, oh, they're watching what I'm saying. Well, I'm not saying anything that's going to be illegal.
I know.
And when I do a Google search, I'm happy if they suggest things that I'm interested in. To me, that's the technology working.
The utmost of convenience. I don't want to know anything about adult diapers.
I'm not doing anything. I'm not selling dope, and I'm not talking to Russian spies. So, I mean, I don't care for NSA looking at what I'm doing, but I'm not doing anything, so I don't care.
Yeah, I agree with you completely.
I
think we're scared of the unknown, and we don't know what the unknown is.
Yeah, but that's nothing new. That's been that way. That was 100 years ago that people were. No, I'm serious.
True, so true.
Yeah, it was SolidWorks.
SolidWorks. Isn't that
SolidWorks.
that's an expensive program, isn't it?
That is an expensive program. You can get the military. It's a student edition,
Okay.
but it's for military veterans, and all you have to do is show them your DD-214, and it's. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. I'm looking at their page. I'm trying to see what the price is for the student edition. But it was relatively inexpensive compared to the full-up program. Let's see. SolidWorks. Okay, it's like 86 bucks.
Not bad.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, compared to whatever the SolidWorks itself is let's see.
In the thousands.
Oh. Let's see. Come on. How much does SolidWorks cost? I mean, the one thing about it, you type in something like that and you get all this stuff there. $3,995. Let's see.
Holy smokes! I'm looking here on Google Plus, and we've got all kinds of questions going on here.
On Google Plus. Man, how many screens you got open?
I've got a tablet here that I am opening up the stuff that I can't open on my computer.
Well, we were on Facebook talking. Now you're on Google Plus. I'm trying to.
This whole thing is gonna be so fragmented.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I've got two.
Go ahead. This whole video is going to be fragmented, and I think that's going to be the benefit of the show, because I myself have had such a problem getting into Google Plus, because I had so many connections on Facebook.
Right.
When I went over to Google Plus, I'd hear the crickets start chirping. So I know there's a lot of people on Google Plus. I just wasn't connected to them. So being fragmented, we're going to have comments on Google Plus, Facebook. The website's going to have a live page where I think we're going to have some kind of comment system there. So hopefully this show is going to have about 3 or 4 hosts who are going to be building models. Those 4 hosts can keep an eye on all those points of comment where everybody can comment.
Yeah, I'm looking. For example, I'm looking at Google Plus. I haven't been there for a while, and there's a video link, and there's another thing that says that I commented on a video on YouTube, and it says Model Guild Live, and it's got your picture down there, and it's like something's not right. We're having trouble connected to Google. Well, that's really nice, guys. Thank you. And it's got Hangouts up in the top right, so I see they're tying all this stuff together.
Yeah,
how it goes.
They are. In reply to Chester Fessmeyer, You're gonna have to call me and tell me how to say your name if I'm getting it wrong, by the way. He said, I see the tack time is very short for weld bond, but how long until final setup? Weld bond, its characteristics can be seen to be much like what's the canopy glue, except that it dries a little bit harder and not so rubbery. Canopy glue, when it dries, you can yank it, and it'll pull apart slightly. It'll move. And weld bond will it won't move so much, but it can bend. It won't break like a harder glue. But it takes about an hour and it'll be done. Like I just glued these legs on here and put this weight on top. I don't know of too many other glues other than using crazy glue that'll allow you to do that in, you know, the amount of time that I've been building this today. Weld bond is by far my favorite wood adhesive.
See.
Southern 8099 said, what am I building? This is a kit by ImagineThatLaserArt.com. This is the Chicago version of the elevated rail. This is a 2-track setup. Currently I'm building a station section with ladders, but that's not painted or anything. It's still basically in the box. I'm just de-spruing it. So I just wanted to build this today so that I had something to build. This kit, probably mid-June I'll be able to show a video of this kit installed, 15 feet of this installed on a layout full of carnival rides. What are you working on? What's on the bench?
I am putting in a grade crossing.
Oh, yes, I seen that yesterday, didn't I?
Yeah, I was poking at it yesterday. I had. That's why I showed that to you with my iPhone. I had put in a grade crossing and I used just regular plaster, white plaster. Well, the problem was I noticed that when I was gapping my tracker the other day for another project, and I noticed that where the track eraser was hitting the asphalt, in quotes,
Yeah.
it was rubbing off the gray and the white was showing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, well, that's kind of dumb. And I realized that when I did it, I was still new at it. And if I had just you know, added some color to the plaster, that wouldn't have been a problem.
Yeah.
And you know, I tell people the difference between an expert and an amateur is just that the experts made all the mistakes in the past.
Exactly, and they usually have the components, you know, to overcome it.
Well, if you're cutting strip wood, after a while you mess up, you learn the little tricks to cut it better and cut it straighter and so on. And after a while, somebody goes, "How'd you do that?" And you go, "Oh well, blah blah blah." And it's, "Oh wow, well, it's because you messed up so many times. You know not what to do, or gluing and so on."
Yeah, so true. The other thing is when you're I'm not talking about a front face of a model, but if you're doing the back of a model, breaking strip wood with your nails and fingers is perfectly a legitimate thing to do.
Well, it's like you're using that big glue applicator.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? The brush you just grabbed. You're familiar with Trolls Kurt.
Yeah.
And his video, and he's painting stuff. He's got this brush like the size of what you're using. He just like this guy's like everybody's like, "Oh wow, your stuff looks so real." And he's got this brush the size of Pennsylvania.
I know, right?
Yeah, it's like because he's an artiste. And
he sent me his DVD 2 years ago to review.
Right.
And this guy literally takes these Canson papers, he puts them down on his desk and just slathers colors.
Yeah.
Like he dips it into one color, slathers it with the big brush you were mentioning, dips into another color, slathers it on. It just goes like that, and then he uses a paper cutter and cuts it into strips.
Uh-huh.
And that's what his clapboard is.
Yeah, or his roofing. I mean, it's just
4 colors. What's that? Go ahead.
What was that me? Oh. Yeah, he used it for his roofing. For example, his roofing. Everybody's like, "Oh, where do I buy, wood roofing for my model?" And Trolls will sit there, like you said, he'll slap a bunch of colors on a piece of paper and cut it in strips, and there's his roof.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. He does paper for his clapboards, roofing, any number of things. Actually, it's a really good video to watch because he gets the big brush out and just goes for it. Like
when he was weathering his one of the cars, a box car or something, and we sit there and get this little micro brush to get in there, and like he's got a brush the size of what you're using, just slapping paint on this because he's using it like a canvas.
Yeah.
He is a painter. That's what his job. That's what he makes money off of.
Yeah. Landscape artist.
Well, not just that. Did you see the one he did of the World War I airplane? He did one like a dogfight.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah. I mean, it looks as good as anything you'd see in military modeler.
Huh.
Or he did some railroad scenes like locomotives and that sort of stuff. So I don't think he has any limits.
No, once you get to that skill level, it's just whatever you want to do.
Well, another thing is his layout, which is so great, and the reason is because he models like he paints. It's a painting.
Yeah, the line between scenery and building, there's no big difference. Like they fit together. Yeah.
Well, I mean I try to do that in my own modeling. That's
I think everybody does, but like when you have an eye for scenery, your models get the same weathering as the scenery does.
Yes, because he sees the whole thing. It's all inclusive. And that's what makes it great is the fact that this guy has that talent to use color and to visualize the texture and so I mean, if you look at a close up of his, a lot of his stuff is actually pretty crude.
Yeah.
But from any distance, it makes sense. because he's like you said, he's flowing that color and that texture and that feel, and the eye fills all that stuff in.
Totally. When I was in school, art class was one of my favorite classes, and instead of skipping out of class, I'd go with the other seniors and hang out in the art room.
Right.
One of the biggest lessons my teacher used to beat through my head would be, while you're painting, stop painting and step back from the painting about 4 feet and squint your eyes. You know, and that's she said that that's the way a painting should look, when you squint your eyes, and if
Right.
it all looks fluid and together, then you're on the ball. But if you see a spot that doesn't fit in, that's the spot where you have to go in and add some work.
And something that's allied to that is I forget what it was. Somebody posted a link yesterday to one of the blogs for the one of the modelers, one of the was it Foss, FOS. Anyway, he was in this article, his blog, about taking your time when you're modeling.
Yeah.
And I replied back to it that I'll do something and then I'll stop and I'll walk off. If I'm doing scenery, especially.
Yeah.
You know, you add a rock and then walk off. Don't add 20 rocks. Add this one rock or paint this one little area. Then, you know, like you said, you stop and you look at it from a distance. And you walk around the other side and you look at it and you walk off and go get a sandwich and you walk. That will percolate in your brain.
Totally.
All of a sudden you'll go, oh yeah, I need to do. You get like a flash of inspiration.
Yeah.
And it's not magic, but it's almost like it is, because probably your subconscious is thinking about this.
We really don't put enough effort into giving our brains credit. Like when I walk away from something and I go back to the project, there will be a scene painted inside my mind that I can just keep on going and going and going. And when that stops, that's the time for me to get up, you know, and move on. Because it's, like you said, your subconscious is painting that picture for you, or trying out new things.
Right, yeah, because you're looking at the area and go, something's not working about that scene, and then you walk off, you go get lunch, and you walk by a building, you glance over and go, wait a minute, that way that one is there, the way
the color.
Yeah, or something. I mean, it's almost like you're running a subroutine, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I do that often. I've got models sitting up on top of the shelf that, you know, will sit there for a while until I'm ready to have at it.
Well, like I said, I was doing a grade cross, and I'm doing a Sean Bronstetter on Short Line Modelers.
Yeah, great guy.
Yeah, he did a little build on a grade cross and a wood timber grade cross, and so I was kind of following that. I liked kind of the way it looked, and I said, well, that's kind of neat. But I was talking earlier to my friend Gary, who was I had a question about how they pinned them to the under, you know, how do you pin the timbers down, right? And you know, I figure it was a screw or a spike or something. You see these divots around, like it looks some kind of a little stud sitting in there.
Yeah.
Well, Gary, in a past life, had been a track inspector, and also he's actually built 1-to-1 scale track, switches, yards, the whole 9 yards. So I said, well, let me ask him.
Yeah, good guy to ask.
I mean, you know, he's actually done it. So and it's basically like a giant lag screw.
Oh, okay.
So it's this big foot long lag screw with like either a square or a hex top head on it with a molded in washer. And what they do is just they hammer it down so far, then they put a like a ratchet.
Oh, okay.
And it makes sense. But you know what's funny is how high tech is that? Well, it's not really. It's a lag screw. You know, it's like it's the same thing they've been using for 100 years.
Yeah.
I mean, they might have a high tech, fancy rubber impregnated or whatever for the crossing, but they're still using a lag screw to put it down.
Yeah.
But you can stop thinking of it, it's like a shovel. If you walked up to a Roman soldier and handed him a shovel, they go, "Oh, it's a shovel." Well, he might go, "It's a nice shovel," but he would know what it was because it hasn't changed.
Yeah. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Well, man, there's a guy the other day came out with somewhere in Sweden or someplace. He had a new axe design. Did you see that?
A new axe? No.
Yeah. It's got part of the head is like offset, so the blade is not really centered.
Oh, okay.
On the weight, so when it goes into the wood, it actually twists.
To pull it out again.
Well, it's the force of the blow actually sends the blade into the wood, and then because the head is there's a weight basically offset from it, it causes it to twist. So it basically acts like a wedge.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Of course, the responses on the YouTube video were, well, let them try that on maple. You know,
as a former stair builder, I laugh heartily.
well, they were saying, of course, you see all these negative responses to anything that's posted, and it was, well, he's using some kind of a northern Swedish lumber that splits easy, So, I don't know. It just seemed like a neat idea to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we're getting up onto the time where I said we'd be shutting this thing down, Ed.
Make sure you post, when you post up the link, you need to really put how to, I assume you will be sending invites to the people to actually do what we're doing, and how to, watch my friend of mine was just on, and he managed to go to the YouTube link.
Okay.
But I told him to, after his family stopped running around this afternoon, I'll get with him on the hangout and try to, bring him up to snuff as much as I.
Well, maybe by next weekend, maybe me and you can work on a how-to article of some kind that I can put up on the Modelers Guild to guide people on how to be a part of the host crew, join the live as a host with us here, or be a viewer, do all those things.
Right.
I know I'm a technical person and I can write all that stuff, but maybe you being on that side can help me a little bit.
Well, I consider myself technical. It's confusing from this end. I mean, right now it's working great, but yesterday we were trying to do the video thing, and it was just like, this is not working at all. It worked fine when you invited me earlier.
Did you change?
I went right in there and went to the settings and lowered the bandwidth some and so on.
Oh, you did lower the bandwidth? Maybe that was the thing that fixed it.
Yeah, but the screen came right up. Yesterday it was a bad connection. I'm assuming it was just the internet, the connection itself was lousy.
Yeah, one of the things that I've seen a lot of people say is that plugged directly into the router as opposed to using Wi-Fi to
Well,
connect
yeah,
your computer.
that would make sense.
The other thing is that yeah, you lower the bandwidth on the top settings. But the other thing is it could be that whole Netflix phenomenon too. You know, we could have been trying to join when everybody's trying to watch their Netflix.
It could be that, and also, yesterday. I was talking to you on my iPhone. It was trying to talk, and I was like, "Oh man, I got too many things going on here." Although that's not the same thing, but still, I don't know. But sometimes, I mean, think about it. The whole idea behind the internet, as DARPA originally, my understanding, came up with was. It constantly is looking to see if it's got a connection. If it doesn't, it routes itself to a different way. Each.
Yeah.
So, depending on how your connection is, I've actually did a trace route one time. I was going to India and back.
Yeah.
You know, so people. When I was in Kuwait in 2003, 2004, that is. And I was actually sent over there because the network, they was having network problems with our munitions software. And the general actually asked me, Sergeant Traxler, why is there, all this delay and problem? And I said, well, sir, you're going through 27 jumps to get back to the States. And he goes, but I can see that, and we were actually hooked to the ASP, the ammo supply point.
Yep.
You could see it about 1,500 meters away across the desert, right? And the general was like, I can see it right there. I'm just sitting there going, okay, calm down. Sir, it would be better to run a landline. You can run a line over there.
Yeah, and get full
We'll go
bandwidth.
to the internet, you idiot, is what I wanted to say.
Yeah.
I don't understand. 27 hops, sir, as 27 different routers, different places it's talking.
And what he didn't understand is that the internet is a bunch of different data centers, and we hook up to data centers. Those data centers are hooked up to each other, and that's the internet, right?
Yeah, I mean, one goes, okay, I'm trying to get to such and such. Where's a good line? Okay, there's one. I'll use that. Well, it might go to Cincinnati. Then it might go to Canada. It might go down to Mexico. I mean, it's wherever the
open lines are.
Yeah, I mean, it's packets. And if the packet, if it sends a packet and it doesn't get a reply that it received the packet, it'll try a different route. I mean, that's what's called a router. So, yeah, but another general didn't understand that. I'm saying I'm wanting to tell him, well, sir, you got the power. You got soldiers that run line, and commo guys and telephone guys. You're gonna run a line out to it's just a desert, one road and a fence. But you don't tell generals. Generals are like they're like in any business. They're the big shots.
Yeah.
The three martini guys. That's a general. There's no difference.
Yeah.
I mean, once you get so high in any business, I suppose the same. It becomes nothing but bureaucrats. And you run into in the military the same thing you run with a business, where the higher up it goes, the less you know. It's true, unless you came from the bottom.
True, eh?
You, instead of going to the lower level guy, the guy that's working on the assembly line, or the sergeant, and asking him what's wrong, they ask some big shot. And the big shot, what does he know? What is wrong here? And he talks to somebody else, and he'll tell the guy on the camera. What are you talking to the bureaucrat when you want to know the answer? You have not go tell Snuffy that actually has worked it for 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to do that because they would get an answer they didn't like. See?
They'll get the honest to God answer.
Yes, how do we do this? Well, gee, how about asking the guy that's laid track for 20 years?
Yeah. Yeah.
But you watch the one on TV, who do they talk to in the news? This is retired Colonel so and so or General so and so or the chairman of Time Warner. Well, sir, why the internet connection so slow? Well, blah blah blah. Well, why don't you go down and talk to the 26-year-old tech guy?
Yeah. Because the 26-year-old tech guy will come out with some words you've never heard of.
Well, I was talking to my friend Gary. He actually contracts for Time Warner. He lays cable, okay, his company.
Yeah.
Well, they came out with he got a new laptop so he could do his contracting, billing and all that sort, invoicing and stuff like that. And we worked and could not get the software that Time Warner provided to load on the computer or to work. Come to find out, it would only work with Windows XP. So he had to go buy a computer and have XP installed.
In reply to Stephen Atwell, yes, I'm working on a L platform. It's the Chicago version of the L platform from Imagine That Laser Art. I'm building 15 feet of it. We were talking about how I was going to North Carolina, me and you, Stephen. That's what I'm bringing down, is I'm bringing about 15 feet of it down there, and I'll be installing it on a layout. Just for your information, Ed, that was a question that was on the Google Plus events page.
Google Plus events. Let me see if I can get to that. Okay, where's? Okay, click engine.
I'll link to you through Facebook.
Come on, there's Google Plus.
You should have just got a link from Facebook.
Okay. Man, it's too many. I got too many. Oh, upcoming events. View all.
And then under, on the left-hand side below the video, you should see comments. Do you see them?
Wait a minute. I'm on Google Plus, and it says upcoming events. It says, am I going to watch Marla Giller live? Yes, maybe, or no. Okay, yeah, sure, but yes.
Sure, why not?
Where are they hiding me?
Oh, maybe it's just for me. I don't know. I'll figure it out for next week.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I'm sitting on the events page. I found that it says upcoming events. It's got the Mahler's good, and it says, are you going to watch? Invite more. It says Ron Pare, Anthony Stevens, plus 5 others are going to watch. Hangout is on air. It has stuff, simple stuff for simple minds like mine.
Well, Steve's still watching because he got my answer. He said, "Thanks, Ron."
Okay, you're looking on Google Plus or Facebook.
Google Plus. That link I sent you over Facebook.
Okay,
He said that's what it looked like.
Let
So
me go
nice.
to Facebook so I can see where the heck I'm supposed to be at.
Well, I think we're going to shut this down for this week. I think it was a nice test. Thanks for showing up, Edward.
Yep.
You got so many interesting projects that I've seen over the years on Facebook and Shortline Modelers. That I think that you would be a great addition to the show if you'd come back next week. That would be awesome.
I will
Try. So thanks everybody for watching the show. If you watch the show, we'll be doing this once a week. If you're interested in showing what you're working on Sunday mornings at 10 o'clock, I'll be happy to have you on as a host. Otherwise, you can view with the rest of the people over YouTube or Google+. And maybe next week we will actually know what we're doing.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Okay, bye. Say bye, Bill.
All right.